Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Congratulations on this. That last lap, going through turns 1 and 2, or at least coming out of the tri-oval, this 48 and 16 looked like they were trying to build a run before the 16 went around. Obviously, there's a lot of what ifs, right? But did you feel like you were in control at that point and in a good enough position to defend whatever moves might have been coming your way on that final lap?
I don't know. I probably would have wrecked trying to find out. But yeah, I mean, I knew that whole last lap. Once I got in front of AJ and got to the top, you know, I was lifting and dragging brakes, and he was still backing away from me. So I knew he was trying to back up to the 48 to generate a run. And I saw it coming out of the tri-oval and started to move down. And you know, I kind of saw him. I saw his headlight start pointing even further left, and that's when I knew they're probably running into each other, and I didn't want him to do one of these numbers and come back up and get my left rear. I think that happened to a few guys at Talladega, guys that weren't even really involved in the wreck to start. They just kept wrecking and ended up taking out more guys. So, yeah, I don't know. I would have for sure been aggressive and tried to block it. It's just so hard. You know, I don't have Toyota, we don't have a lot of teammates out there. You know, there's 5 of us, and you look at the other manufacturers, one manufacturer, there's a lot more, and they all work together. And when it comes down to the end, and you're the lone guy out there, they don't want to work with you, they don't want to push you. So I knew that was coming, and yeah, it ended up working out. But to answer your question, I don't know, but I would have definitely found out, and yeah, it might have ended bad.
John Newby, driver. So you talked about how, you know, you kind of have this aptitude for super speedway racing, but does it increase the level of difficulty when, you know, you're making some of these sporadic starts?
Yeah, definitely. You know, obviously I've run, I think, all of the super speedway races this year, so experience-wise versus the field, we've all done the same amount of laps at the same tracks that are like this. The difference is I'm not out there every week. You know, these guys, when you're racing full time and people make sporadic starts, you don't really think about them, and you know, you're not around them every week. So maybe they don't want to push you, or they don't want you to push them. You know, luckily I've been around long enough and know enough people that I'm able to you know, get around that a little bit. But then on the car side and the driver's side, you know, not being in the car every week, it's just the little things that are so hard to just hit right away. I missed a shift on one restart when I was leading and gave up the lead. I missed my pit box the first stop because, you know, it wasn't the color that I thought it was last time I raced. So I was looking for a different color. Like it's little things like that when you're racing every week, you don't even think about it. It's automatic. So for me, it's especially with no practice to show up qualifying race. Yeah, it's really just about, I guess, doing your homework and prepping as much as you can. But yeah, it's definitely tough, and to have a good group around you is huge. And Tyler and that whole team, you know, they're proven winners. They compete for a championship every year with that car, no matter who's in it. So, and everybody that's driven it this year has won in it. So it's just a privilege to drive a car that good, and you know, to be able to dominate the race. I don't know, dominate, but lead a lot of laps and be up front all night. Aside from when I miss my pit box. Yeah, it feels really cool.
So, like, I know you want to be full-time. You want to race more. You want to be able to do more. Every racer wants more success. But if this is your lot in life, your career, and you're able to do the sim work, you're able to race sporadically, maybe add more races, is this good? Is this okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's not what I drew up. It's not what I think I deserve. But, yeah, it's better than, I mean, it's hard to complain racing cars for a living and, you know, driving virtual cars for a living. Like, it's a pretty cool job, pretty cool setup. And I got a lot of off weekends, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I know the hard part is I know in the back of my mind, if I was in one of these cars full time, I could win a championship. I think there's no doubt about that. It's just putting all the things and pieces and parts together to make that happen. Haven't quite figured that part out yet, but yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoy what I do, and I enjoy being, you know, somebody that can help move the needle and helps benefit the program, benefit the team, you know, feel like I'm appreciated and wanted, and you know, not just there for a paycheck or, you know, anything like that. I enjoy what I do. So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I would be happy with it, but definitely not how I envisioned it.